You might be using a car seat in the wrong way and not even be aware of it. According to statistics, 96% of parents believe they have installed the seat correctly, but 46% of car seats have been installed incorrectly, which is a shocking amount. It's almost half of all car seats that have been installed incorrectly. Did you know that installing a car seat correctly can reduce the risk of death for your child up to 82%? So in this video, I will let you know the 20 most common mistakes when using car seats. The number one mistake is when car seats are installed too loose. When you install the car seat, you have to make sure that it cannot be wiggled either side to side or front to back more than 1 inch. Mistake number two, and it is a pretty common mistake, is that the chest clip of the car seat is at the wrong height. The correct height for a chest clip should be around armpit level, and it should be in the middle of the chest. This ensures that it is touching the proper spot in the child's chest and not under the ribs, which is what usually happens, because it could cause severe organ damage in the case of an accident. Another common mistake is that the harness is installed too loose. To ensure that the harness is installed at the correct tightness, you should do the pinch test, which is you pinch the strap, and if you can grab a lot of the strap, then it is too loose. The harness needs to be tight enough to make sure that it will hold your child in case of a crash. Otherwise, your child can end up projected to the front of the car in case of an accident. Another very serious mistake is not using the top tether that comes behind the car seat. This tether at the back of the seat is used to secure the seat and prevent forward movement. One of the most common car seat mistakes is one that is committed with baby carrier car seats. It is one of the most tragic mistakes that happens very often, and it is leaving your baby in the car seat when you're out of the car. The car seats are designed to be at a certain inclination, and when you bring them out of the car and just leave them on the floor or even on a table, which is very, very dangerous, you're putting your children at risk of positional asphyxia, which means your baby could suffocate and die. This is one of the most common causes for infant death worldwide. I know you don't want to wake up your baby because your baby's sleeping, but leaving your child in a car seat when it's not in the car is very dangerous. Not only can your baby stop breathing, but your baby can also overheat. So whenever you come into a house, or whenever you're visiting somebody, or whenever you take your baby to childcare, make sure to take your baby out of the car seat. And when you deliver your baby in daycare and you have him or her on a car seat, make sure that they take your baby out of the car seat, because in some daycares, they neglect to do so. And next thing you know, your baby has stopped breathing. So I know this is probably very triggering. It was always very triggering for me to worry about that. But the best thing you can do as a mother or a father is to make sure that your child does not remain in a carrier car seat longer than it should. The recline angle at which you use the car seat is very important. Always check the manufacturer's instructions to know what the proper recline should be. When used incorrectly, it can affect not only the safety of the seat, but also will cause your child to not be able to breathe. It usually is an inclination between 30 to 45 degrees to ensure proper breathing. The amount of children that die because of the wrong incline on the car seat, especially back-facing car seats, is terrible, and it is something that can absolutely be prevented. Living in South Dakota, I travel a lot with my children. Everything is at least 1 to 2 hours away, and knowing that a wrong incline of their head could cause suffocation, that's one thing that always caused me some anxiety. Positional asphyxia is what it's called when a child cannot breathe due to the position of their head. Like if it falls downwards like this, it is very dangerous. So whenever I was traveling, I was always checking on my child in the back of the car to make sure that they were breathing and that their head was in the right position. With the car seat positioned properly at the right incline is of great help to ensure that positional asphyxia doesn't happen. Another common car seat mistake is installing the car seat in the wrong place in the vehicle. For this, you have to check your vehicle's manual and also the car seat manufacturer's instructions to make sure that you are placing that car seat where it should be. Each car is different, so it is always important to check. Another common mistake is putting your child in the car seat while wearing bulky winter clothes. That is something that always caused me a certain degree of anxiety with my kids because it gets so cold outside that you don't want to take up the coats, but I had them take off their coats. And when the kids are younger, it is best to use a car seat that you can carry with you. That way, you don't have to take your child out of the car seat and you don't have to have them in heavy coats while they're in the car seat either. You can just cover the car seat with some kind of winter or weather protection. These car seats that you can carry around are usually good up to almost 1 year old. Although the best way to ensure that you are following the guidelines is by height and weight. All car seats specify its proper usage in accordance to the height and weight of each child. Some parents are very eager to switch their kids to a different car seat way ahead of time. You have to check by your child's height and weight if it's time to change car seats, if it's time to change it from rear facing to forward facing, if it's time to stop using a harness. And this is where it gets a little dicey because the regulations in each state are different. In South Dakota, for example, many parents do not use a car seat by the time their kids reach age 5. But honestly, it is best to use a car seat with a harness as long as possible until no car seat can accommodate them, following, of course, the height and weight specified by each car seat. Also, other parents make the mistake of leaving a kid in a car seat that no longer fits their child. They've outgrown the seat and they're still using it. That's another very common mistake that should be avoided. So you should always check height and weight limits of the car seats that you're using. And if you're interested in using a forever seat, the best forever seat is one that reaches higher limits when it comes to height and weight that allows you to use a harness as long as possible that can be used rear facing and forward facing. That means you can turn it around and continue using it. And that's in an effort to save money. But don't forget that the most important thing is to keep your child safe. It's also important to ensure that the seat that you are using has been crash tested. You need a seat that has been tested with and without the accessories that it comes with. And if you add accessories to that seat afterwards, just make sure that you stay within the same brand because sometimes the accessories that you get have not been crash tested or have not been designed for the seat that you're using, and that can pose a potential hazard. That brings me to talk about also another mistake, which is leaving hard toys and other hard objects on your baby's car seat. One of my friends in Finland who does this kind of testing told me it's just shocking how much it hurts to get hit by all the objects inside of your car in case of an accident. She volunteered for a test once. Of course, she wasn't used as a crash test dummy, but she volunteered to be inside a simulation where objects were left all over the interior of a test car. And she was hit by many of the objects in that simulation. And she said, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe how much it hurt." In the case of a child, it could even pose a serious injury enough to cause death. As moms, we usually have a messy car with a lot of stuff, but it is important to clear up your car and have everything secured so it won't go flying in case of a crash. Other safety issues have to do with the car seat itself. I already touched on some of them. For example, using the wrong car seat for your child's age and weight and height. Mostly you have to guide yourself by the weight and height. Also, you should be adjusting the height of the straps as your child grows. If your child needs a change of clothes, it's probably time to adjust those straps. You need to change the height and the tightness of the straps. The correct height for the shoulder straps is at the level of the shoulder or a little below. You should also avoid using an expired seat. Believe it or not, car seats have an expiration date. I found out the hard way when I was planning on selling some of my children's car seats. When my children outgrew their carrier car seats, I decided to sell it. And that's when somebody told me, "Hasn't it expired yet?" I had no idea that was a thing. So I checked and it had not expired, so I was able to sell it. It still had about 2 more years of life. When a car seat goes beyond the expiration date, some of the components that it comes with will not function correctly, and this is dangerous. That's why it's recommended to get a new car seat. Sometimes when you purchase a used car seat, you don't know if it's already been in a crash, and you need to check if it's expired. So always make sure that if you're purchasing a used car seat, that it is not expired and that it has not been involved in a crash, although that would be difficult to know. So usually it's just best to buy new. And if you've been in an accident yourself, you must replace the car seat immediately. A car seat that has been in a moderate to severe car crash should not be used again. Dispose of it properly and get a new one. Most stores, like Target for example, will accept an old car seat and give you a discount on a new car seat. And some manufacturers do it directly if you contact them. Make sure to register a car seat online with the manufacturer so that you get notified of any recalls, because another mistake I forgot to mention is that if you're using a car seat and it's being recalled, your child might not be safe. It is recommended that you find a certified car seat technician to install and ensure that your car seat is installed correctly. If you installed it yourself, you can also have them check it to approve and inspect the installation. That way you will know that your child is safe, that you're using the right car seat, and that the installation is correct. So what can you do as a parent to ensure that your child is safe in the car seat and that you have installed it correctly? You should always read the manufacturer's instructions carefully, and also your car's manual in the section where it talks about car seat safety. And remember, the longer that you use a car seat or a booster that has a harness, or the longer that you keep your kids on a booster that works with your car seat belt, the best it will be for the safety of your child. Usually, it is recommended to use a car seat or a booster up to age 12 or until the requirements specified by the manufacturer are reached. The moment your child reaches the height and weight limits specified by most car seats, then your child is ready to be placed in the seat without a car seat, but always wear a seatbelt. Compared to just using seatbelts, the use of a car seat or a booster will reduce the risk of injury between 71 to 82% in children. And even though in the United States it is not specified that backless boosters are dangerous, I would like to address that. Backless boosters are banned in many countries in Europe. They have been crash tested, and also there are many incidents or accidents in which children have been severely injured or died because of the use of backless boosters. So if you're going to use a booster, make sure to use one that has a back. In the United States, this is not a requirement for a booster to have a back, and many people use backless boosters here. But I recommend that if something is going on in Europe where they have reached a point of banning them, why not follow that guideline too? As a mom, the most important people in the world for me are my children, and their safety is just the most important thing ever. And I'm sure that you as a parent also want to keep your baby or your child safe. Although this video is not sponsored, I would like to thank the firm Farah for contacting me and requesting that I share this information so many parents can ensure that their children are safe when using car seats. To learn more about these common mistakes and car seat safety, check the link below about the 20 most common mistakes with car seats, and also my blog post about it. If you're interested in checking out some of the car seats that I really like and put them in your baby registry, please check out the link below in my Amazon storefront. I have created a curated collection of my favorite baby products that you can acquire for your baby registry. Also, I have created a board of the best strollers and stroller accessories if you want to check it out. And I have also created a video about the top 10 strollers for travel. If you watched this far, thank you so much. Remember to like and subscribe, and please check out the next video.